I'm Jeff Logan. I've been doing this for 18 plus years. So I first started getting it to go when I was 19. So very, very long ago, registered first domain name in 1994. I go to about 10 trade shows a year. Whenever I go to a trade show, this is the topic that I talk about. This exact same one here, and just kind of more WordPress stuff. I do 2 webinars every single week on Webinar Wednesday for the company that I work for as well. But both my parents are educators, so I guess I got it from that. And I've been presented at WordCamp Seattle. And how many people here are in the hospitality industry? Nobody. All right. Well, I work with about 50 select registry hospitality clients. Those are kind of the creme de la creme. And I actually maintain 1,800 different WordPress websites. So that can be a handful at sometimes to deal with those things. Really quickly, before I kind of dive into everything here and kind of go over the secret sauce of the WordPress SEO plugin by Yoast, how many people are needing SEO help? Raise your hand if you're needing SEO help. Everyone else has got it covered? All right, okay. Or you don't even know what SEO is. All right, so let me just give the first kind of slides that I have is really understanding SEO. Then I'm actually going to dive into a real world example that we can look at. So the first thing is understanding SEO, search engine optimization. The first thing to do is not buy this book. Don't buy any books about SEO, because guess what? As soon as you have them, they're outdated. Just do not do that. One of the things you might want to do is hire a professional. There's a lot of people out there that do a really good job, and they can train you on what to do. And then if you understand this at WordPress SEO plugin, you can do everything yourself after that. There's 2 important websites that you're going to want to be looking at to better understand SEO. And the best thing is both of these companies are here in Seattle. SEO Moz, these people are the creme de la creme. They are the best company that's out there. Rand McFish. Say it again? Fishkin, that's it. Thank you. And they are the best company. They actually have MozCon coming up, which is going to be in July. And then Portent, they're over in the Smith Tower. They just moved there. They were out in Tukwila. These people are really great as well. So going to their 2 different websites, reading the blogs that they have, you're going to learn so much about SEO. Especially from SEO Moz, they have a really great area. Who is yet to have lunch? All right, so this example about chocolate donuts is going to be really mean. So sorry about that. So to give some examples about what SEO is and how it actually works, I'm going to be using the example of a chocolate donut. So the first thing is the perfectly optimized post for SEO. We need to have a couple items inside of there. 300 plus words is a really great place to start. Anything less, you can kind of get away with that, but we want to be looking at 300 plus words of content. We want to make sure that we have photos inside of there, and I'm going to show the reason why I want to have photos. We need to have some internal and also some external linking that's out there, and we want to have our keyword density around 2%. And this entire presentation is already online. I'll give a link at the very end so you can actually go and look at this. So if your hand is cramped from writing from the last session, you're good to go.
Is this a blog or a website?
Well, it's actual a website online that you can go and actually see each of these slides.
No. Is the 300 words for each post or each blog or each website?
For each page inside of your website, and then each blog post that you're doing. Is my phone flashing?
Yeah.
I'll turn it over.
Words for a post?
Yeah, that's a lot. Wow, who's calling me from Maine? Okay. So here's the perfectly optimized blog post, and we can kind of see an example over here, but I'm going to point these different items out. So with our chocolate donuts that we have here, we have a couple different things that we need to look at. So the title of our blog post that we have up here, we got to make sure we have our keyword of chocolate donuts inside of there. That's telling Google, and the title is one of the most important things. One of the most important things, I got chocolate donuts inside of there. The next thing what we're going to be looking at is we have what's called an H1 heading title, or H2 would also be sufficient as well, making sure that we have chocolate donuts in there again. And the last item that we want to look at, which is also really important, is our meta description, that we have the word chocolate donuts in there at the exact same time. Everybody kind of follow along with this? Seems fairly easy so far. WordPress SEO plugin is going to say, Okay, you're doing all these things correct. Now, if we're actually looking at our entire blog post that we have here, we've taken care of the title, we've taken care of the H2 or H1 tag, and we made sure that we have it in our meta description. So the remainder of the components inside of our blog post that we need to do is we need to get in some other things. And those other things are making sure that we have a photo here, and we have this photo, we have an alt tag associated with it. So when Google or the other search engines come by and read this page, they see that this photo is about a chocolate donut. Makes sense. The next thing we need to make sure is that we have a alt tag around it, and then we're naming our photo the exact same thing that we're talking about. So this is a photo of chocolate donuts and chocolatedonuts.jpg or png or either of those, and then we actually have our alt tags. Then we want to make sure that we have our page name, that we actually have chocolate donuts in that as well. So we're trying to hit every single element in this blog post with the word chocolate donuts. Everybody hungry right now? Yes? I should have brought chocolate donuts. Now, the last item is all these green arrows that we have. We're working in the word chocolate, we're working in the word donuts, we're working in chocolate donuts together, primarily to let Google know this blog post is everything about chocolate donuts. So when they come and read it, they will know exactly, hey, this is about chocolate donuts. So everybody follow along, because I'm going to get to a real world example and show the plugin in process. Now, this guy who's from the Netherlands, WordPress SEO by Yoast, his actually name starts with a J, Yoast something, but not as important. Just look for anything by Yoast and his stuff will show up. For some reason, he always likes to show himself as a cartoon. Not really sure why. Now, this plugin is really the best for SEO, I feel. It is totally free. It's very, very powerful for what you can be doing. It shows real-time results with everything that you're doing, and it's up to date. It's being updated all the time. New features are being rolled out. Probably about every 2 weeks, I see an update for this plugin. So really, really good stuff. So there's Mr. Yoast again, another picture of himself. Going to his website, which is yoast.com, you're going to find some really good WordPress statistics. One of the biggest ones is that WordPress powers almost 1/3 of all websites that are out there. That's a lot of websites. Now, there was a discussion about plugins just recently. One of the ones that I want to point out is going to be in a couple more slides. Here's what the Yoast plugin looks like. It'll actually go in and show you a snippet preview of what this is going to look like when Google indexes it. It's going to show you the focus keyword that you'll be putting in there, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use that. We can put in our SEO title, and it gives you different details as we work along, and then your SEO description. And what we really want to do is get this area right there all green. Now, in some cases, it's not possible, but if you're writing a blog post, getting this area green, you better do it. Blog posts are really the key components to try and get placement for long tail phrases. Everybody know what that term is? A long tail phrase would be a term that is 2, 3, 4, 5 words in length. Now, on your individual pages inside of your website, you can definitely use this plugin as well, but in some cases, the page URL and article heading, you just won't be able to get because you're working with an internal page. So this is really geared for the entire site, but to make all of those green, it's primarily only going to be happening with a blog post you write. So set your page titles, meta description, check your site's SEO. That's exactly what it's for. So if SEO is important to you, which it should be to everyone, this is the plugin to be using. Now, there was some talk about security. This plugin is the best. Security scan, you can just do a search for it inside of the WordPress repository and find this one. There's a free version, there's a pay version. If your site gets hacked at all, you're gonna turn here to get it fixed. Typically a 24-hour turnaround, they'll get rid of everything. I believe it's about $88. One of the easiest ways to get hacked is to have a bad password, a bad username and a bad password. So don't ever have your username be admin. Make it something different. But a hacker can see what the usernames are fairly easy as well. I just watched a webinar by the guy from Security, and he was able to hack into a website in about 5 minutes. So, how? Because it's not very hard. It's not very, WordPress is an easy system to hack into because there's so many people using it, much like Windows. Hackers go after that, Windows all the time, because it's just used by so many people. So WordPress used by so many people. People want to try and hack it, deface it, make links out to spam and things like that, and medical sites, if you know what I mean. So you need to be able to protect yourself. Try using the free plugin that you have here. It's really going to protect you. If you do get hacked, you can use their paid service to take care of it. I recently had a client which made their password the name of their dog, and their username was admin. It only took a couple weeks and their site was hacked. So I simply told them, yeah, no, we need to have this really difficult password and a username that is not easily guessed. The best place to actually have a password is write on a sticky note and put it next to your computer. Hacker can't see that. So just a word of advice about passwords. Now, and if you write that wrong, you know, my email address is right there and my phone number. I love living on Bainbridge Island. I just moved here in June. Everybody got that down? So I'll drop out of this real quick then and head on over. Anyone need some more time? Okay, go ahead. All right, I think I'm going to drop out of here. Look at our time. All right, we're good to go. So here is the Pinehurst Inn in Bayfield, Wisconsin. Anybody been to Bayfield? No one. Really fantastic destination. It would be the equivalent of going to the San Juan Islands is what it would be like there on Lake Superior. So it's a great B&B there. And what we're actually going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you about how to make a blog post of one of the most popular things there are to do in Bayfield is kayaking out to the Apostle Islands. So my reference to San Juan Islands kind of makes sense. And here is a perfectly done blog post all about kayaking and the Apostle Islands. That's what this blog post is geared for. The reason why this one is done is because one of the most popular things to do when you get to Bayfield is to go kayaking and go to the Apostle Islands. So a lot of thought was put together, keyword research was put together to understand what should I be blogging about. Now, if you have a website right now and you're doing blogging, how much thought is actually being given to SEO inside of what you're doing? Are you doing keyword research? Google AdWords keyword tool is really what you want to be using. Great, great tool. So let me show you how we achieved really great SEO placement for this. And let me go through step by step the WordPress SEO plugin. We just saw in the last presentation how to go to the WordPress repository. You can just do a search for WordPress SEO. This plugin will be #1. You can just go ahead and click install and it'll get installed for you. So I'm going to take you through some of the features inside of here, what they are, how they work. There's way more stuff in here that a lot of people you're just not going to use. So I'm going to go through some of the most basic items. Once you get it installed, there is a button that says Start Tour, and it's actually going to walk you through a lot of the components in here so you understand what they are. Real quickly though, anyone heard of the WordPress video manuals or have that installed inside of their blog already? Do you use that for your clients? Have it installed?
I use a different one.
Okay.
I haven't talked about this.
I like this one best, primarily because with the videos that they have, they've recently just added videos for... Thank you. They just added videos right there for Yoast. So you can then go in and watch these videos. They're not very long. I think this one is about 30 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
In this video, you're going to learn how to use the WordPress SEO by Yoast plugin.
And there it is. So great videos that you can go and watch.
Where do you find it?
Well, this is the WordPress videousermanuals.com is where it's at. It is kind of expensive, where you have to pay $35 a month for the videos. What you might want to do is find a website host that includes these videos, because they're really helpful, or sign up for 1 month. Go watch all the videos and then don't pay for the next month. But they're really, really helpful. They cover all the facets of WordPress and how you can use them. Okay. So let me go back on over here. So once we get this installed, you can go ahead and hit Start Tour, and it'll walk you through the tour that's here. So really on the first page that we have here, the only thing you'll really need to do is watch the tour. That's it. Checking any of the other boxes, really not needed. They're going to want to know right here, are you going to allow us to track your site, some anonymous tracking, so we can make our posts, our system better? I check the box because they're really not doing anything that's kind of private or background or anything like that. This is one of the most popular plugins that are out there, so checking this box, if it did something bad and nasty, that would not be good. So I have favor to check that box. Now, where you're probably going to make your most changes is going to be under the titles and metas category. And one that you're definitely going to have to check is the force rewrite titles. This is necessary because checking that box is going to allow this plugin to really work, where it overwrites the default title system that WordPress has in place. So checking that box, force rewrite titles. And this portion of the presentation is not in what's online. So I really couldn't get that in there. Now, a lot of the other items that we have in here, site-wide meta settings, these are really not needed unless you have very certain things that you want to be doing. They have one here, use meta keywords tags. If you want to, you can use them, but search engines really don't read those things anymore at all. So a lot of these you just really don't need to be checking. There are some down here with cleaning up head tag information. Really, this is main for hiding things. Depending on how you are using your website, you might want to hide RSS feeds, because it might not be necessary. If you just have a standard site and you're not really blogging, there are no SS feeds information to really grab. Now, under this home category inside of here, this is where you can add in who's the author. And then this one is really super important. How many people have a Google Plus profile completely filled out? Okay, a couple people. Very important to go get that Google Plus profile filled out. Have you ever done a Google search and seen these pictures next to these? These get clicked on 20% more than the rest of these listings. How do these people get here? Well, not all of these people have WordPress websites, but using this feature over here inside of Yoast and filling this in, here, I'm just going to highlight that real quick, and filling this one in with your website address, that's going to make it so your picture is showing up. So if you're just really, I got to get page one placement, I want to try and optimize as much as I can, getting that Google Plus page completely filled in is really important. Now, we do have under post types, pages, etc., where we can kind of set some items other than the default. It's just best to leave all of these the way that they are. One thing that you might want to check is under meta robots. You can check this one, no index or follow. So if your website you're putting together is just an internal one for your company and you don't want it to get indexed by Google at all, you might check that box. Or if you're in the development phase and you don't want it to get indexed, you might want to check that one until you're done. So that's really the only one that you might use here. We can see that we can tell other places. An example would be if you have a mobile website inside of here, you're probably going to want to tell Google not to index your mobile site, because that could create some duplicate content out there, which if you're in the SEO world, that is a no-no to have duplicate content. So there are certain things in here, depending on your site, you might want to check that no index one. But be very careful that you know what you're doing first. Wow, my time is just churning away on this. Taxonomies, other, and help. Not a lot of things inside of here that you'll really go to unless you have some very specific SEO items that need to be taken care of. So that general home and post types, that's really where you'll be spending your time. Out of all the websites I've ever worked with, I've really never changed anything inside of these 3 areas. Now, under social, this is a nice one that if you are doing any Facebook open graph kind of things that are out there, you can go ahead and tie your Facebook business account or your personal account right inside of here. So they are sharing data back and forth. If you are doing this, you can see that I have my account added. You'd want to check this box, add open graph metadata, which simply tells these search engines, here's my Facebook stuff that I also want you to go take a look at the same time. So checking that box and hitting save here at the bottom. There's also a Twitter option right here, and that'll just go ahead and add in your Twitter information inside of here as well. Now,
do you see good results with that? Because it puts you at a little bit more risk when you start connecting Facebook accounts.
it does. I've really not seen positive or negative results from it.
Okay.
So
They do pretty well indexed together without connecting.
they do. I have people that swear by it. I got to have this in place. This is really important to me, but I really haven't seen positive or negative results from it. Now, you did mention in your presentation about the XML Sitemap plugin. In Yoast, it has it built inside of here as well. So that means that you can turn off that XML plugin if you're using the Yoast WordPress SEO. It's bundled inside of here. There is the options to ping Yahoo and Ask.com with every single new blog post that you do. It's going to send a ping right out to those places, so they're going to index the new pages that you do. Anyone have an idea of how quickly a new blog post will get indexed? No one?
From an existing site or?
From an existing site. I've seen it show up within 10 minutes in Google, which is, whoa, really scary that they can do it that fast. So having those in place, and you can also go in here and tell it, I want to exclude these items being indexed inside of my site. Certain sections you will want it to say, don't index this, because there is the possibility of having, once again, duplicate content, which is one of the biggest SEO no-nos, is to actually have that in place. And permalinks, this is just the naming structure of new blog posts that you have inside of here. Only if you're doing specific SEO items would you want to really check any of these. Using the default settings is just fine. I'm actually going to skip over internal linking and RSS to save time. The last one, though, is import and export. If you are using the older all-in-one SEO plugin, which is really one of the first ones that came out and a lot of people might already have, there is the option to import all of your data and bring it on over. So that's one of the most important ones that you'll want to do, because you don't want to have both these plugins running at the same time. They'll be counterintuitive, and away you go. Now, let me go ahead and get right on into one more item that I want to show, and then I'm actually going to go over this this blog posting. Now, one of the nice things about the WordPress Yoast plugin is it's going to add a couple new categories inside of here when you're actually looking at your posts. It's going to add this SEO, it's going to add the SEO title, it's going to go ahead and add the meta description and the focus KW's keyword. Having this in place, you're going to be actually able to see, have I achieved great SEO placement for this page? Have I done everything correct? What's my SEO title that I put together? What's my meta description? And also, what's my focus keyword? If you don't have a focus keyword here, it's not going to actually give any color. It's going to stay with a default gray. So you can work through here and make these necessary adjustments. You can install this plugin and then retroactively go back to all the blog posts you've already done and make these changes, and it'll get pushed out. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the blog post that I've actually kind of written here. This is a completely fictitious blog post. It has a lot of lorem ipsum copy inside of here. I think everyone might know what that is, which is basically Latin, Latin, Latin doesn't mean a darn bit of anything. So our blog post here is Summer Kayaking the Apostle Islands. This is actually the title that we have up here that the general public are going to read when they actually get to the website. That's the nice, easy to read, non-SEO driven title that we actually have. Now, when the Yoast plugin is installed, it's going to show down here kind of towards the bottom of the page, typically right after your blog post. Now, I've already gone in here and kind of done a lot of different things. And what I see right here, here is my snippet preview when someone does a Google search. And this blog post is going to show up as an option. This is exactly what they're going to be seeing in Google. So details on kayaking the Apostle Islands in the spring. And actually I also have the word summer, and it's actually getting cut off. So that title's actually a little bit too long. But that's very different than the title that I gave here. And that is one of the best parts, is that I can have a title that I want the public to read when I get to my website, but I can also have a very SEO driven title at the same time to get indexed. Now I'm going to go back down here, and I can go ahead and put in my focus keyword, and this one is so important. So if we put in our focus keyword, and actually what I've done here is Apostle Islands, it's going to tell me if I did a good job. So I can see here in my article heading, yep, I got Apostle Islands there. In my page title, I got it. In my URL, I got it there too. And did I put it in the copy of my blog post? I did. And then in my meta description, I got there as well. Let me point out exactly what all of those are so people know. So my article heading and page title are kind of one and the same. It's this area right here is our page title and article title. Our URL is this information right here. You can completely customize what that is at any time. By default, this is actually going to be what we've written up here as our title, but you can customize that to be anything that you want. This area that we have down below, this is all of our body content. And then if we go further down, we're actually going to be using the Yoast plugin to put in our customize SEO title. As you type it out, it's actually going to show you how many characters you have left. And then our meta description, we can go ahead and type in whatever we want right there. And once you have these all put together, this information starts to get updated on the fly, and away we go. Now, this blog post, because I've been doing SEO for a long time, I've really figured out how to make good quality blog posts for showing our clients, or when we're actually writing content for our clients. So this one, my initial focus keyword was Apostle Islands. So I want Google to know this blog post is about Apostle Islands. At the same time, I also want to tell Google that this blog post is about kayaking. So if I go ahead and take the focus keyword out of here, and I type in kayaking, and I'm going to go ahead and go up here, and I'm going to hit update to save that information. And I can scroll down here, and Google once again, the WordPress SEO plugin once again is going to tell me, did I get the word kayaking in all of these different places? And it says yes. Now, SEO really changed after the Google Panda update. Have you ever gone to a website and started to read the copy and it just seemed to not read correctly? Where it had keywords kind of put into the copy over and over and over again in just ways that it didn't make sense. Well, the Google Panda update came out and was able to see those sites that had kind of the term chocolate donuts, or a long tail phrase, the very best online chocolate donut store, and people who did those kind of things were kind of bumped down, because the Panda update that Google did, it wanted to find really well written copy. So it hurt a lot of sites. I got 5 minutes, okay. So in this case, if I go into this blog post and I make sure I have the word kayaking in there, and I make sure that I have the word Apostle Islands in there, guess what? Google's going to put those two together. They're going to know what this blog post is all about. Now, I was actually able to go in here and put kayaking, Apostle Islands, and if I hit update, because I have 3 words together, I can see, oh, kayaking, I think it's the Apostle Islands. I was actually able to get in here. I was actually able to get that 4-word phrase in here. We can see that I really wasn't able to get it into the content though, but I was able to get it in the page title, article heading, the meta description, and the page URL. Inside of the content, I know it's there, but for some reason, this plugin seems a little buggy from time to time. And I know that I actually have this term, kayaking the Apostle Islands, I believe in our body copy. Yep, there it is. I actually have it in there 3 times, but for some reason this plugin's not grabbing it. So this is the only time I've actually seen issues with this plugin. Now, with everything that I've written, I have my great blog post, I have my title, I have my 2 keywords, I have a lot of copy, 300 plus words inside of here, so I know that this is going to be a good quality blog post. Now, I'm maybe going to eat my shorts here real quick by going out and actually seeing that kayaking in the Apostle Islands. Let me see if it's actually indexed in Google already. Let's see. If it is, that would be absolutely amazing if we did do that. I was given a presentation one time before, and that actually did happen, and it was #1. All right, so in this case, eating my shorts, that just didn't happen. But does everyone have a good idea of how this plugin now works?
Wouldn't you get notched down in Google because of all the Lorem Ipsum stuff? The fact that it's not great content?
Oh, of course. Of course. That just wouldn't work. I just did a sample test in regards to that. But if you've written good, researched, well-written copy, you're going to be in good shape. Because of the time limit that we do have, I want to show one last item. When we're looking at the WordPress SEO Yoast plugin, we have a couple tabs. We have General, Page Analysis, and Advanced. Page Analysis is really where you want to go. You want to try and achieve at least green or at least yellow with everything. Red is critical. Orange you need to look at. Yellow is okay, and green is you did great. So under Page Analysis, you can go ahead and look at that. I think our time is up, but then we'll go into questions. How are we doing on time?
You got about 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay.
Go on longer, Jeff. I just have to make a tape change.
Got it, okay. So we'll just go ahead and turn it over to questions now about this plugin. I'm pretty sure I just turned the fire hose on and shot everything at everybody. But let me actually just bring this last screen up. Been doing this forever. There's my phone number, contact information. I'm here probably about 10 hours every single week. I'm typically here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. If people want to sit down and talk, I'd be more than happy to look at your blog, answer any questions, things of that nature. Wow, it's so quiet.
How many pictures is too many?
I would try and go with 2, 3, maybe 4. It all has to do with the amount of copy that you're writing and if they really can measure in there correctly. I'll see a lot of times where too many pictures are added and it just kind of looks like crud. So I'm a very stickler to try and make things look really, really well with design.
We have a few people in the room that are photographers, painters, architectural firm, that are more, their sites are more geared towards lots of photos. So a lot of this is towards a blog post. Some sites by nature are just filled with a lot more photos. And that's just natural as part of their content.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't be penalized for being a photographer, Crystal, with lots of photographs.
Nope, not at all. Actually,
You wouldn't be. No.
yeah, no.
I thought they hurt, I thought.
Well, the more copy you can have, the better you're going to get indexed. My sister's a wedding photographer, so her website is just nothing but photos, really. And
Does
here's
she have a WordPress website?
She does. No, I'm take that back. It's a SmugMug website, is what it is. One thing I do want to say about another plugin. This is one that I love. I used it today. This is the Insights plugin. Anyone using this one? Familiar with it? This is a great place to go to find photos. It pulls photos from Flickr, which are Creative Commons, and you can just go ahead and type in a word here, and it's going to find photos that match it. So the 2 photos that I found here, I typed in the word kayaking for my first photo. I inserted it. For my second photo, I typed in Apostle Islands. I found it and inserted it.
What's the URL for that?
That one is inside of the WordPress repository, and it's called Insights.
How do you spell I-T-E-S?
It is INSIGHTS. This is one of the default plugins that I install for all of our clients. So you can search for images, videos on YouTube, Wikipedia, Google News, etc. So if you want to be able to add photos inside of your website and you just don't have access to photos.
And are those for free or do you have to pay for them?
Everything I've showed has been free so far. Are we done? Are we good?
SEO plugin takes your, we started with nothing. We're building a site. It takes it to another level, and it is good to add it sooner rather than later.
Oh, yeah.
So you can catch up with your content and make it a natural part of adding pages and posts.
Mm-hmm.
And this plugin has changed a lot. I used to use it a lot, but now it's got some new features. All-in-one SEO plugin is good, but this adds some nice things that I wasn't aware of because it had been added in recently.
Yeah,
It's really good.
they just keep adding more and more features inside of here.
Oh, Jeff, thank you so much. This has been really incredible.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So, one thing I would like to mention, and actually with Jeff, he might not even know this, but I'm trying to be more for you the ability to use this room also. So, Jeff, if you ever get an occasion to throw a party, teach a class, whatever, up to 4 hours, you know, please.
Take her on me later.
And if you have ideas for me for these Tuesday at noons, you know, we pick a theme. And, you know, I'll try to give you as much feedback as I can on what I think will be a big draw, but quite frankly, I don't know either. You know, I've been surprised at these sessions on what draws a great crowd. So thank you again, Jeff. Thank you, Annette. This has been amazing, and we'll bring WordPress back. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Mayor.